Hello students, yesterday we have learned about the incomplete dominance where the dominant gene is not completely dominant over the recessive gene which will not obey the Mendelian laws. So now let us go to the second non-Mendelian example, or you can say which is deviated from the Mendel's general principles. Now it is a codominance. What do you mean by codominance? It is a phenomena where both alleles in a heterozygous condition express themselves equally. That is, under heterozygous condition, according to the Mendel, dominant gene used to get expressed. Fine. And here, under heterozygous condition, both alleles which are present on a homologous chromosomes express themselves equally. That is the codominance. Both of them will show the equal response or expression. The best examples for codominance is AB blood group in humans. AB blood group in humans, coat color in cattle and dog, black and white, both will get expressed, and fur color in cat, that is black and tan. So let us take the popular common example, that is AB blood group in humans. Because this we have studied blood grouping in first year also, that is why it will become easy for us to understand. Now let me take the example of blood group in humans. Blood group in humans. You know that in the humans, blood group is governed by a gene I. So gene, it is controlled by, let me write, blood group is controlled by a gene I. And this gene is present in three alternative forms. So this I, it is responsible for the production of antigen. It is responsible for the production of antigen, different types of antigen on the RBC. So I is, it is responsible for the production of antigen, or you can say a glycoprotein on the RBC membrane, So I told I is present in three alternate forms. So let me write the alternate forms of I. That is I raised to A, I raised to B, and I raised to O. So this we are going to discuss in multiple allelism also. So let me take directly the AB blood group. So let me take directly the AB blood group. That is blood group AB. It is governed by, now I was saying you the blood group AB. So AB blood group, it is controlled by gene I raised to A and I raised to B. So here the I raised to A is responsible for the production of antigen A. It produces antigen A, and I raised to B. It produces antigen B on the RBC. Suppose that it is the RBC, and you know that RBC is enucleated. So on this, antigen A is produced and antigen B is produced. So antigen A is controlled by this I raised to A gene, and antigen B is regulated by I raised to B gene. Thus, the person who is having both the genes, both the alleles, his RBCs will be having both the antigens. Both these alleles will express themselves equally, producing antigen A and antigen B. Thus, AB blood group in human beings is a codominant. So, what do you mean by codominance? A pair of alleles in a heterozygous condition express themselves. Now let me take one more example, that is second example. skin color, or you can say coat color in cattle. Coat color in cattle. If a black is crossed, black cattle, if it is crossed with a white, let me write capital B, and this one small b, small b. So all the progenies which are produced by crossing this black cattle and the white cattle are heterozygous. So here this heterozygous will express both the characters. That is, the cattle which are produced out of the cross between black cattle and the white cattle will be having a white background with the black. Both patches it will be having. Both colors it will be having. Black and white. White background, on that you will see the patches, like any pattern will be there. So black patches you will see on the screen, on the skin, the white background. So these are the two examples for codominancy. Let me repeat once again. What do you mean by codominancy? It is a phenomena where both alleles in a heterozygous condition express themselves equally. Either of them never get suppressed or dominated by each other. So both are equally expressed. What example we have taken? AB blood group in human beings and coat color in cattle. AB blood group. So here AB blood group is controlled by I raised to A and I raised to B gene. So I raised to A gene produces A antigen and I raised to B produces B antigen on the RBC. Thus, the person with AB blood group is having both the antigens on the RBC. Thus, it is a case of codominance. And in the cattle, if you cross cattle with a black color and white color, the hybrid, or you can say the cattle which is result of these two cross, will be having both color. That is white background with the black patches. So these are the cases of codominance. Now let me go to the next multiple alleles. Now let me take the next example, that is multiple allelism. Multiple allelism, it is a phenomenon of expression of a single gene in more than two alternative forms. That is, single gene is expressed in more than two alternative forms, and it occurs due to the repeated mutation of a single gene in different directions. One gene continuously undergo mutation in different direction to form different alleles. Fine. So that is how we will get multiple alleles, and the phenomena is called multiple allelism. The best example is the human blood group, that is ABO blood group in humans. So this ABO blood group, it is controlled by a single gene called I. So this I will regulate the production of antigens on the RBC membrane. So it will regulate the production of antigens, that is glycoprotein, on the RBC membrane. So the I is having three different alleles. That is three alternate forms of alleles which previously we read. That is I raised to A, I raised to B, and the alleles are I raised to A, I raised to B, and I raised to O. So these two, I raised to A and I raised to O, are dominant. They are the dominant one, and I raised to O is recessive one. So this I raised to O is also written as I, small I. So as human beings are diploid, each individual will be having two alleles. So let us just know what kind of allele will control what kind of antigens. The allele I raised to A control the production of antigen A. The allele I raised to A will regulate the production of antigen A, and I raised to B will regulate the production of antigen B on the RBC, and I raised to A is not responsible for the production of any of the antigen. That means these two, this I raised to A and I raised to B, are dominant on the I raised to O. So These three alleles together are responsible for the expression of the four blood groups in the human beings. That is A, B, AB, O. These are the four phenotype you can say. So these are the four blood groups which are expressed by the allele I. So let me repeat once again. Multiple allelism, it is a phenomena. It is a phenomena of expression of a single gene in more than two alternative forms. What example we have taken? We have taken the ABO blood group in humans. And how these multiple alleles are formed? They are formed by the repeated mutation of a single gene in different direction. Only one gene continuously will undergo mutation in different direction. Thus, more than two alternative forms of that particular gene is formed on the same loci on a homologous chromosome. So here how many alleles do we have? Three alleles we have, which are indicated by letter I raised to A, I raised to B and I raised to O. I raised to A and I raised to B are dominant. I raised to O is recessive. I raised to A allele is responsible for the production of the antigen A and I raised to B is responsible for the production of antigen B and I raised to O is not responsible for the production of any of the antigen. How many blood group does it produce? It will produce four blood groups A, B, AB and O. And these blood groups are controlled by two genes, that is two alleles. Human beings are diploids, I told. So any of two combinations may be present. Any of two combinations of alleles are present in each individual. Now let us see the genotype and phenotype of different blood groups in human beings. And it is asked for 2 marks in the annual exam and of course it is even asked for the CET and the NEET. Let me write the table now. Now let us know the different blood groups and the genotype. I told you that human beings are diploids and each individual is having two alleles. Let us see the conditions. So genotype, that is two alleles I raised to A and I raised to A. So these if the person is having these two alleles, then his blood group will be A. That is on his RBCs only A antigens are present. That is if capital A, then it is homozygous dominant. The genotypic condition is called homozygous dominant. And if I raised to A and I raised to O, then it is heterozygous dominant. So here I raised to A is responsible for the production of antigen A and I raised to A it will not produce any of the antigens. Fine. So these two genotypic conditions are responsible for the blood group A. And alleles I raised to B and I raised to B, they are homozygous dominant and responsible for the blood group B. And I raised to B and I raised to O, they are heterozygous dominant. Here because I raised to O is recessive allele. I raised to B is dominant one. I raised to B is dominant over I raised to O. That is why only B antigens are produced and they are present on the RBC membrane and the person will indicate the blood group B. And I raised to A and I raised to B, if these two alleles are present, then it is codominant. Both the alleles are responsible for the production of both antigens A and B. That is why the person's blood group will be AB. And then the I raised to O and I raised to O, if both are recessive, this can be written as small I also. That is, so I raised to O, I raised to O is also written as small I, small y, which are recessive. So they are responsible for the blood group O. So which one is universal donor, universal recipient, that you have studied in the first year. That is AB is universal recipient and O is universal donor. And that too negative blood group. About the RH factors and all you have read in first year. Let me not say those things here. Now, you know that in the blood of an individual, if on the RBC A antigen is there, then in the blood plasma B antibodies will be there. Fine. On the RBC, if A antigens are there and in the plasma B antibodies will be there, just to avoid the reactions between antigen and antibodies. The person of the antigen A will not be having the same antibody. Likewise, the B will not be having the same antibody. The blood group B will be having A antibodies. Like AB is not having any of the antibodies and O will be having both antibodies A and antibody B. So this you have studied in first year. Now let us know, by knowing the genotype of by knowing the blood group of parent, we can just guess, we can just assume the blood group of our children. So let us just know how to know the blood group of our progenies. Some few simple problems let us do now. So hope you understood this one. What is that? The three alleles. The three alleles are responsible for 4 blood group, and these 3 alleles, the genotype will be 6. They have, the 4 blood group are expressed by 6 genotypic condition. That is why this is the best example for multiple allelism. Now let us know some of the problems. Now let us know some of the simple problems, that is how to find out the blood groups of progenies. Here I wrote 2 problems. This will be asked for CET and NEET. You have to know how to take it out. Now, when the blood group of father and mother are heterozygous for blood group A, that is both father and mother's blood group is A and that too the condition is heterozygous. If only A is given, that also we have to understand that the blood groups are heterozygous. And what is the blood group of the progeny? Progenies we can write, let it be. So what is the blood group of father and mother? What is the given data? Given father blood group. Father's blood group is A, that is heterozygous. What is the genotype? I raised to A, I raised to O. Heterozygous blood group condition that you have learned already. And now, what is the mother's blood group? Mother blood group is also A and heterozygous. Now we have to find out the blood group of the progenies. Blood group of progenies, we have to find it out. Now, so no need for me to write the parent gamete. Let me write directly the progenies by checkerboard. So one side let me take father's and one side mother's blood group. What are the gametes which are produced by these two? You know that always gametes are haploid and they have got only one gene for a particular character. I raised to A, I raised to O. So this directly I am writing as you already know how to take out the gametes. See, the diploid parent produces haploid gametes. 50% of the gametes will be having the I raised to A gene and other 50% will be having the I raised to O genes. So those I did not write directly, I have taken the Punnett square. Let me write the progenies. I raised to A, I raised to A, I raised to A, I raised to O, I raised to A, I raised to O and I raised to O, I raised to O. Let me write the blood group here. See, I raised to A, I raised to A, it will give A phenotype and here also A and here O blood group. That is, among the progenies, if you take 100%, so 25% will be homozygous for A blood group and other 50% will be heterozygous A blood group and other 25% will be homozygous recessive, that is O blood group they will be having. In general, 75% of the progenies will be having blood group A and 25% of the progenies will be having blood group O. Among these, if you consider homozygous, heterozygous, then 25% is homozygous dominant, 50% is heterozygous dominant, and 25% is homozygous recessive. So these are the chances of having the blood group in the progenies. That is how we can take out the blood group of the progenies. Let us take the second condition. That is, what is the problem here? When both father and mother are heterozygous for blood group A and B. What is given here? Given father is A blood group and heterozygous condition. I raised to A, I raised to O. And what about mother? Mother blood group is B and her blood group is also heterozygous. Fine. Now, progenies. Let me write directly the Punnett square. So you have studied the monohybrid and dihybrid process. No need for me to write the steps. Directly we can write. So father is having blood group A and mother is having blood group B. So I wrote on the side gametes. Let me write the chances of having progenies blood group. I raised to O and I raised to O. So here taking out of progenies through the Punnett square you already have learned. So I wrote directly here. So let us write the phenotype. So here the I raised to A and I raised to B is responsible for AB blood group and I raised to B and I raised to O is responsible for B blood group and I raised to A and I raised to O is responsible for A blood group and I raised to O is responsible for the O blood group. So here when both the parent, that is father and mother, when they are heterozygous for blood group A and B, then what is the progenies blood group? That is 25% among the progenies may be having A blood group and 25% will be having A blood group. Other 25% will be having B blood group and other 25% will be having O blood group. So here we will be having all the blood groups if both the parent are heterozygous for A and B. So these are the two cases which we have taken. Let me take another case where let us take this father 1 B and 1 O group. Let me take. So when the blood group of a father and mother is heterozygous for A, I have to rub all. Let me rub this. Now let me go to the third case. That is when the father is homozygous for blood group A. What is given? Given is father blood group. Father is homozygous for blood group A. He is homozygous. That is both the alleles on the homologous chromosomes are same. And what is mother blood group? She is having blood group B and her case is heterozygous. That is both the alleles present on the homologous chromosomes are different. So here we have to write I raised to B and I raised to O. Now what are the blood group of their children? Children blood group. Let us see. Here we have to draw the Punnett square. Let me not take like in a systematic way what we wrote in the monohybrid crosses. So one side let me write the fathers, another side mothers. What is the father blood group? A. So the gametes we have to write here homozygous it is, and mother blood group is B, and her gametes we will write this side, and now we will cross and write the progenase blood group I raised to A, I raised to B, I raised to B, I raised to A. So always we have to take the first letter, first we have to write. Like always the alphabetical order begin with the A. So let me write A here, I raised to A, I raised to B, and I raised to A, I raised to O, I raised to A, and I raised to O. So when this case is there, father is homozygous for A and mother is heterozygous for B, what kind of blood groups you will get? Among their children, 25% will be having AB blood group, and then 50% blood group among them. If you take all the children as 100%, 50% of them will be having A blood group and AB blood group, and 50% of them will be having A blood group. So what are the chances in this case? 50% of their children will be having AB blood group, and other 50% of their children will be having the blood group A. That is AB and A only their blood group will be. That is how one can find out the blood group of the progenase if the blood group of the parent is known. If the genotyping condition is known, it is better. Otherwise, we can guess the blood groups, which are all the possible blood groups of the progenase. Now let us go to the next, that is the pleiotropy. Now let us go to the pleiotropy. Pleiotropy, it is also a non-Mendelian example. This also will not follow the Mendelian principles. So what is pleiotropy? It is a condition in which one gene influences multiple characters. That is, one gene will control more than one character. Now, according to the Mendel, we have learned that one gene is responsible for one character. Fine. So what is pleiotropy? Here one gene will regulate more than one character. Then that condition is called as pleiotropy. The best example are the sickle cell anemia and cystic fibrosis. So let us see little detail about the sickle cell anemia. Here in the sickle cell anemia, so the defective hemoglobin is produced. This we will read in detail in coming genetic disorder. So let me say a very little about the sickle cell anemia. So here in the sickle cell anemia, normal hemoglobin is not produced. That is usually normally hemoglobin is having two chains. It is made up of two chains, that is two alpha chains and two beta chain. So here in the sickle cell anemia, the defect lies in the beta chain. It produces defective hemoglobin. So it produces defective hemoglobin. It produces defective hemoglobin due to point mutation, that we are going to read in next coming diseases. So defective hemoglobin is produced because of point mutation. So usually the beta hemoglobin's sixth amino acid is replaced by valine. Like sixth amino acid, normally it will be glutamic acid. Glutamic acid, and it is replaced by sixth position amino acid in sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia, it is replaced by valine. So this makes the difference in the structure of the hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, usually it is spherical in shape, and when you see from the top normally it is flat biconcave. So that, and when you see the side, through the side it appears like dumbbell. Fine. So this is the normal RBC shape. Normal RBC shape, and in the sickle cell anemia, because of the defective hemoglobin, because of the defect in the beta chain, the beta chain will take a fold. It will take a fold. Because of that, the RBCs will take a sickle shape. It will take a sickle shape. That is abnormal RBC. Let me write abnormal RBCs. So it will take sickle shape. Because of the change in the shape of the RBC, the oxygen carrying capacity of the RBC will get affected. So here the RBC will carry less amount of hemoglobin, and here in the sickle cell RBC. And normally one RBC will carry 4 oxygen molecule, which you already have studied in the first year. And because of the defect it will carry less amount of oxygen, and this will affect the physical efficiency of a person. The person will get tired very soon because his body will not get supplied by the sufficient amount of oxygen. That is how the sickle cell person will suffer. So what we have to concentrate here regarding the pleiotropy. So the one gene is going to regulate more than one character. So here in this, I have taken the sickle cell anemia as an example. What will happen in the sickle cell anemia? The gene which is going to regulate the beta chain is a defective one. Here the defect occurs because of point mutation, which we are going to read in coming period. The 6th position amino acid, normally which is glutamic acid, will get replaced by valine. Because of the replacement, the shape of the hemoglobin will change, and when the shape of the hemoglobin changes, the RBC structure changes. From the spherical size, it will change to a sickle shape. Thus, the oxygen carrying capacity of the RBCs will get affected. So, what 2 characters it is going to control? One, it produces defective hemoglobin. Produces defective hemoglobin. Defective hemoglobin. And second, affect the structure of RBC. Second, structure of RBCs. These 2 characters will get affected by the gene. So the person who is